All right, it has been almost 2 months since the House voted to impeach Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for failure to comply with federal immigration laws and breaching the public trust. And it appears Senate Democrats now are trying to stall the proceedings, according to a new report. Well, that's not going to sit well with Republicans, who are now gearing up to grind all legislative business to a screeching halt if Democrats table the trial. Now, over the weekend, Republican senators Ted Cruz and Mike Lee wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal saying it is, quote, the Senate's duty to put Mayorkas on trial. Meanwhile, the border crisis has spiraled so far out of control that Biden himself is now hinting at possible executive action to try and stem the flow of his illegal immigrants, now over 10 million, and tens of thousands coming from hostile geopolitical foes. We have mentioned those countries many times. Here with reaction, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Okay, it is that bad. Where is the rest of the Republican caucus, first of all, on the issue of the House impeaching Mayorkas, and what will the Senate now do when that is handed over to the Senate sometime next week?
Well, the House is going to deliver articles of impeachment early next week, and under the Senate rules, when they do so, the Senate moves immediately into an impeachment trial. Here's what should happen under the Constitution. This has happened 21 times in our nation's history. 21 times the House has delivered articles of impeachment to the Senate. In 4 of those times, the Senate lacked jurisdiction. In one of them, the person impeached was a senator, and impeachment only lies against executive branch officials or judicial branch officials. So they dismissed that one for lack of jurisdiction. In 3 of them, the person was out of office, was no longer in office, so it was dismissed as moot because there was no longer anything to do once they were out of office. In the remaining 17 instances, in all of them, 100% of the times, the Senate convened for a trial, the Senate heard evidence, the Senate made an adjudication, and the Senate decided guilty or not guilty. That is what the Constitution prescribes. It's the Senate's sole authority, but it's also its responsibility. Next week, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are planning to completely destroy the Constitution's impeachment power of the Senate, and rather than hear any evidence, simply to table the matter at the outset, to vote at the outset. We're not going to hear it at all. And I'll tell you, Sean, Schumer is doing this for 3 reasons. Number one, he wants to prevent the House managers from presenting the evidence of what an absolute disaster Biden and the Democrats' open borders is. Number two, he wants to stop a trial from being held publicly because his only defense is to hide and hope that the media covers up the people who are dying and the risks to American safety from Biden's open borders. But number 3, Chuck Schumer is desperately trying to protect vulnerable Senate Democrats in states like Montana and Ohio and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Nevada to prevent them from having to vote guilty or not guilty. He's trying to dodge responsibility. If he does this, it will permanently destroy the Senate's authority to conduct impeachment trials. It will do permanent damage to the Senate.
Okay. You're in a race where Schumer has now identified you as his #1 target. You're getting the same, BS rhetoric that Donald Trump is getting. That Ted Cruz, like Trump, wants to kill Americans, wants to bring slavery back, wants to put an end to all abortion in America. None of which is true, but this is all they've got, Senator. And they're going to hammer you with probably $100 to $200 million in these types of ads. The money's flowing into your state because the call has gone out to do so. The question is, how do you best respond? How does Trump best respond to what are just outright lies? This is, they want to smear, slander, besmirch, attack, lie. They can't run on their record. That's all they got. What's the answer?
Look, the best way to respond to lies is with truth. If this record is about substance, we win. If it's about Joe Biden's horrendous record, we win. If it's about our vision for America, low taxes, reasonable regulations, lots of jobs, protecting American families, standing with law enforcement, securing the border, keeping our families safe, and protecting our constitutional rights, we win. You're right, the Democrats Chuck Schumer has named me as his #1 target. Chuck Schumer and George Soros are going to spend over $100 million in Texas trying to beat me right now. They're flooding cash into the state. And they're going to engage in lies. They're going to engage in smears. I'm not going to respond in kind. I'm not going to go into the gutter. I'm going to talk about my record versus the very liberal Democrat running against me. But I'll tell you, the only way we can do it, because the corporate media is corrupt, they are propagandists for the left wing. The only way we can do it is to raise the money to counteract the $100 million. And so what we've been supported by is millions of your viewers, of patriots across America going to tedcruz.org and making a contribution, giving $25, $50, $100 at tedcruz.org. And what is really, really helpful is so many people are signing up for what we call our Liberty Circle, where they sign up to give a recurring monthly contribution, $10, $25, $50 at tedcruz.org. That's how we withstand the Marxists who are flooding money into the country. And listen, if you don't think Texas is close, my last race, I won by fewer than 200,000 votes. I won by less than 3%. And so Schumer is gambling. If he spends enough money, he can gain 3%. He can flip Texas. And we're not going to let him do it, but the way we're going to stop it is focusing on substance and truth and a better vision for America.
My only fear for you and for Texas is, guess what? If you take a U-Haul from California to Texas, you pay about $2,000, $2,500. If you take it from Texas to California, you're doing U-Haul a favor. You'd only pay $400. Tells you everything you need to know. You just got to hope the people from California that moved to Texas didn't bring their Gavin Newsom policies with them. All right, Senator, we wish you luck. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.